My beloved child. Listen carefully, because this is not just another message scrolling past your eyes. This is the moment your spirit was pulled here for a reason, and if you feel even the slightest pull in your heart right now, that's because something hidden has already started moving behind your back, something you were never meant to hear, but somehow you are hearing it now, because a trusted one, someone you never doubted, someone you allowed close enough to know your truth, your pain, your dreams. That person has been speaking about you, not directly to you, but to others, seeking opinions, asking questions, trying to understand you through voices that were never meant to define you, and this is where it becomes dangerous, because the moment someone starts collecting opinions about you from the wrong ears, your story begins to get rewritten by people who never lived it, and I need you to feel this deeply. This was not done in innocence, this was not just curiosity, there was hesitation, there was confusion, and there was influence, and influence is powerful, my beloved child. Influence can turn love into doubt, trust into suspicion, and clarity into chaos, and right now, somewhere in silence, your name has been discussed, your intentions have been questioned, your actions have been analyzed by people who don't carry your heart, and this is why you've been feeling a strange shift. This is why the energy between you and this person feels slightly off, like something unspoken is hanging in the air, because it is. Something was said, something was heard, and now something is changing, but listen. Do not panic, because what is hidden is now being revealed to you, not to break you, but to prepare you, because you were never meant to be understood by everyone, and the moment someone tries to define you through the voices of others, they step away from the truth of who you are, and that is their lesson to learn, not your burden to carry. But I know what you're thinking right now. Why would they do this to me? And that question carries pain, because you trusted them, you believed they saw you clearly, you thought your connection was strong enough to stand without outside validation, but the truth is, they became uncertain, something inside them started shaking, and instead of coming to you directly, they went around you, and this is where weakness shows itself, because strong connections communicate, but fragile ones seek confirmation, and what they received was not pure, because people will always project their own fears, their own insecurities, their own past wounds onto your story, and now this trusted one is standing at a crossroads, confused between what they felt with you and what they heard about you, and this confusion is creating distance, subtle at first, but growing if not addressed, and this is why you feel it, this is why your intuition has been restless, this is why your heart has been whispering that something isn't right, because your soul always knows before your mind understands, and here is the warning you must not ignore. Do not chase clarity from someone who chose confusion. Do not lower your truth to explain yourself to people who listen to others before listening to you, because the moment you start defending your existence, you lose your power, and you are not here to prove your worth, you are here to stand in it, unapologetically, fearlessly, completely, and if someone cannot see you without needing outside voices to guide them, then they were never truly seeing you at all, they were only seeing their version of you, and now that version is being challenged, and yes, this hurts, because betrayal does not always come as a loud storm, sometimes it comes as a quiet conversation you were never meant to hear, sometimes it comes as advice taken from the wrong people, sometimes it comes as doubt planted in a mind that once trusted you fully, but listen closely. This is not the end of your story, this is the turning point, because what happens next will reveal everything. Either this person will realize their mistake, step back into truth, and come to you with honesty, or they will continue down this path of confusion, allowing others to shape their perception of you. And if they choose the second path, then understand this clearly. They are choosing distance, not because you pushed them away, but because they allowed themselves to be pulled away, and that is not your fault, my beloved child. Do not carry guilt that does not belong to you. Do not rewrite your own truth just to fit into someone else's comfort, because the right connection does not require you to shrink. It does not require you to explain your soul repeatedly. It simply understands, it feels, it knows. And right now, you are being tested, not in your ability to hold on, but in your ability to let go of what does not stand strong in your absence, because real bonds do not break when you are not present. They strengthen, they remain, they trust, and if someone can be influenced so easily about you, then their foundation was never as solid as you believed, and this realization is painful, but it is also freeing, because now you see clearly, now you understand what was hidden, now you know where you stand without illusions, and this is your power. Clarity is power, even when it hurts, even when it shakes your heart, even when it forces you to accept truths you were not ready to face, because from this moment forward, you have a choice. You can either chase after someone who allowed others to define you, or you can stand still and let them come back to truth on their own, and if they don't, then you walk forward without them, stronger, wiser, unshaken, because you were never meant to be held by someone who needed approval from the world to keep you in their life. And listen carefully. Something bigger is happening here, something you cannot yet fully see, because sometimes people are removed, or tested, or shaken, not to punish you, but to protect you from a future where their doubt would have destroyed something even more important. And right now, what feels like confusion is actually redirection. What feels like betrayal is actually exposure. And what feels like loss is actually protection in disguise. And I need you to hold on to this truth. You did nothing wrong by being real. You did nothing wrong by trusting. You did nothing wrong by showing your heart. The only thing that went wrong is that someone else was not strong enough to honor what you gave, and that is not your failure, that is their limitation, and limitations reveal themselves over time, always, without exception, and now you are seeing it, now you are feeling it, now you are understanding it. And this understanding will either break you or build you, depending on what you choose next. And you must choose wisely, because this moment, this exact moment, is shaping the next chapter of your life. And if you choose self-respect over desperation, clarity over confusion, truth over illusion, then you will rise from this stronger than ever before, untouchable, unshaken, unstoppable. And the person who once doubted you will eventually see what they lost, not because you told them, but because your absence will speak louder than any explanation ever could. And when that moment comes, when realization hits them, when they understand that they allowed others to distort something real, they will feel it deeply, they will regret it, they will replay their choices, their conversations, their doubts, and they will wish they had come to you instead of going around you. But by then, you will no longer be the same person waiting in the same place, because you will have evolved, you will have grown, you will have moved into a space where your energy is protected, where your value is non-negotiable, where your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. And this is why this is happening now, not later. Because you are being prepared for something greater. Something that requires you to be surrounded only by those who see you clearly without needing confirmation, and those people are coming, they are aligning, they are finding their way into your life, but first, space needs to be created, illusions need to be cleared, and truth needs to be revealed, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, and right now, that process has already begun. So do not resist it, do not fight it, do not chase what is trying to show you its weakness. Instead, observe, understand, and rise above it, because you are not here to be questioned, you are here to be recognized, and those who truly see you will never need to ask others who you are. They will feel it for themselves, clearly, deeply, undeniably. My beloved child, feel this deeply, because what I am about to reveal now goes even further than what you've already sensed. This situation did not begin suddenly, it has been building quietly in the background, like a slow whisper turning into a voice, and that trusted one. They didn't just ask once and move on, no, they kept seeking, they kept listening, they kept allowing different opinions to shape something that was once pure between you and them, and this is where the real shift happened, because the more they listened to others, the less they listened to their own heart, and when someone disconnects from their own truth, they become vulnerable to illusions, they begin to doubt things that once felt certain, they start questioning things that never needed questioning, and this is exactly what has been happening behind your back. Piece by piece, word by word, your connection has been placed on a scale by people who were never part of it, judged by minds that never felt what you both shared, and now that trusted one is carrying a weight of confusion that they created by opening the door to outside voices. And listen carefully. This confusion is not your responsibility to fix, it is not your duty to chase them back into clarity, because clarity given under pressure is not real, it fades again, and you are not meant to keep proving your truth every time someone else whispers something different into their ear. No, my beloved child, you are meant to stand still and let truth reveal itself without your interference. Because what is real does not need constant defense, it stands on its own, unshaken, even in silence, and right now silence is your power, not weakness, because while you are silent, everything is being exposed, their thoughts, their doubts, their influences, all of it is surfacing without you having to say a single word, and this is where the divine shift begins, because what they are hearing from others is slowly starting to conflict with what they actually felt with you, and this inner conflict, it is growing, it is becoming louder, it is disturbing their peace, because deep down they know something is not aligning, they know that what they experienced with you cannot be fully explained or judged by outsiders, and this realization is going to hit them harder than you expect. But before that happens, there will be a phase, a cold phase, where they seem distant, where their energy feels withdrawn, where their words feel different or even absent, and this phase is critical, because this is where most people make the mistake of chasing, of over-explaining, of trying to fix something that is not theirs to fix, but you. You must not fall into that trap, because the moment you start chasing, you confirm their doubts instead of dissolving them, you give power to the confusion instead of letting it collapse on its own, and understand this clearly. People who are influenced by others will always test your reaction, consciously or unconsciously, they will pull back to see if you come running, they will become silent to see if you break your peace, they will create distance to see if you lose your stability, and this is not love, this is uncertainty disguised as control, and you must rise above it, because your strength right now lies in your stillness, in your ability to remain grounded even when everything feels unclear, and I know. Your heart wants answers, your mind wants clarity, your emotions want reassurance, but not every answer is meant to be chased. Some answers reveal themselves when you stop running after them, and this is one of those moments, because what is happening now is bigger than just this person. It is a pattern being revealed to you, a lesson being shown to you, about who deserves access to your energy and who does not, about who stands firm in your truth and who wavers when the world speaks, and once you see this clearly, you will never settle for confusion again, you will never feel the need to prove yourself again, you will never allow someone else's doubts to define your worth again, and that is your transformation. But listen. The story does not end here, because something is already shifting within them, even if you cannot see it yet, those same voices they listen to. They will start contradicting each other, they will start revealing their own biases, their own inconsistencies, and slowly, the trusted one will begin to realize that they have been trying to understand you through broken lenses, through perspectives that were never aligned with your reality, and this realization will bring discomfort, it will bring regret, it will bring a deep internal conflict, because now they will have to face the truth that they allowed others to interfere in something that should have remained between you and them, and when that truth hits, it will not be easy for them, because they will see the distance they created, they will feel the shift in your energy, they will notice the silence where there was once connection, and they will begin to question themselves, their choices, their actions, and in that moment, they will have a decision to make, to either come back with honesty and face what they've done, or to retreat further into their pride and avoid accountability, and this decision will reveal everything you need to know about their place in your life, because real connections take responsibility, they admit mistakes, they choose truth over ego, but fragile ones hide, they avoid, they pretend nothing happened. And you must not ignore this difference, because this difference will determine your future, and here is where your power reaches its peak. You are no longer waiting for them to choose you, you are watching to see if they are worthy of choosing you again. Do you feel the shift in that perspective? Do you feel the strength in that position? Because this is where everything changes. This is where you stop being the one who seeks and become the one who decides, and that decision must come from clarity, not emotion, from truth, not attachment, from self-respect, not fear of losing them, because you are not losing anything that was meant to stay, you are only witnessing what was never stable enough to last. And this understanding will set you free in ways you cannot yet imagine, because once you stop chasing clarity from others, you start living in your own truth, and in that truth, everything aligns naturally, the right people stay, the wrong ones fade, the confusion disappears, and your peace becomes unshakable, and this is what you are being guided toward right now, not confusion, not heartbreak, but clarity, strength, and elevation, even if it doesn't feel like it yet, even if your heart is still trying to hold on to what once was, trust this process, because it is leading you somewhere higher, somewhere more stable, somewhere more aligned with who you are becoming, and when you reach that place, you will look back at this moment and understand why it had to happen this way, why the truth had to be revealed through discomfort, why the trusted one had to show their uncertainty, why the silence had to replace the connection, because all of it was preparing you to step into a version of yourself that no longer tolerates half-truths, mixed signals, or borrowed opinions. A version of yourself that stands fully in their power, their worth, their truth, without needing validation from anyone, and that version of you is already rising, already awakening, already breaking free from everything that once held you back. So do not fear what is happening, do not resist what is being revealed, because this is not the end. This is the awakening, this is the shift, this is the moment everything begins to change in your favor, even if you cannot fully see it. My beloved child. Now we step into the deepest part of this revelation, the part most people are not strong enough to face, because what is unfolding now is no longer just about what they did behind your back, it is about what this situation is awakening within you, because listen carefully. Betrayal does not only expose others, it exposes you too. It shows you where you were overgiving, where you were overtrusting, where you were ignoring subtle signs because your heart wanted to believe in the connection more than your intuition wanted to question it. And this is not your weakness, this is your humanity. But now you are being called to rise above that version of yourself, the version that ignored red flags, the version that gave the benefit of the doubt too many times, the version that believed that love alone could hold everything together, because the truth is, love without clarity, without communication, without mutual strength, becomes fragile, and fragile things break under pressure, and pressure is exactly what was introduced the moment this trusted one allowed outside voices into your connection, and now everything is being tested. Not just them, but you too, your patience, your self-worth, your ability to stand alone without losing yourself, and this is where your transformation becomes real, not in what you say, but in what you tolerate, because what you tolerate defines your reality, and if you tolerate confusion, you will live in confusion. If you tolerate inconsistency, you will receive inconsistency. But if you choose clarity, if you choose peace, if you choose self-respect, then everything that does not align with those choices will naturally fall away, and yes, that includes people you once thought would stay forever, and I know this is the hardest part to accept, because your heart still remembers what was good, your mind still replays moments that felt real. Your soul still holds on to the connection that once felt unbreakable, but listen. Something can feel real and still not be right for your future, something can feel strong and still not be stable, something can feel deep and still not be aligned, and alignment. Alignment is what determines what stays and what leaves, not emotions alone. And right now alignment is being tested in the most uncomfortable way, through distance, through silence, through doubt, through everything that forces you to see clearly instead of feel blindly, and this clarity is your gift, even if it feels like pain, because now you are no longer seeing just the good, you are seeing the whole picture, the strength and the weakness, the truth and the illusion, the love and the instability, and once you see both sides, you cannot unsee it, you cannot go back to ignorance, you cannot pretend everything is fine when it is not, and this is where your power becomes undeniable, because awareness changes everything, awareness shifts your standards, your boundaries, your expectations, and suddenly what you once accepted no longer feels acceptable, what you once tolerated now feels heavy, what you once ignored now feels impossible to overlook. And this shift, it is not random, it is your soul evolving, it is you stepping into a higher level of self-respect, a higher level of understanding, a higher level of truth, and as you rise, not everyone can come with you, especially those who are still operating from doubt, from fear, from outside influence, and this is why this situation had to happen, because if it didn't, you might have stayed longer in something that was slowly losing its foundation. You might have continued giving to someone who was not standing firm for you. You might have built a future on something that could be shaken by the opinions of others, and that would have hurt even more later. So what feels like loss now is actually protection for your future. What feels like confusion now is actually clarity in disguise. What feels like distance now is actually space being created for something stronger, something more aligned, something that does not require you to question where you stand, and listen closely. There is something else you need to understand, something most people never realize. The way someone handles outside opinions about you reveals their true level of maturity, their true level of emotional strength, their true level of commitment to you, because in a strong connection, outside voices become background noise. They do not become guiding forces, they do not create doubt, they do not shift the foundation. But in a weak or uncertain connection, outside voices become amplified. They become influential, they become powerful enough to create distance, and this is exactly what you are witnessing right now, not just their actions, but their level, their depth, their readiness for something real. And this awareness is not meant to make you bitter, it is meant to make you wiser. It is meant to elevate your standards so that you never again invest your energy into someone who can be easily influenced against you. Because you deserve stability, you deserve someone who stands firm in your absence, who defends your name when you are not there, who trusts their own experience with you more than anyone else's opinion. And if someone cannot do that, then they are not aligned with the level you are rising into, and this is where acceptance becomes your greatest strength, not forcing things, not chasing answers, not trying to control the outcome, but accepting what is being shown to you, clearly, undeniably, without resistance, because acceptance brings peace, and peace brings clarity, and clarity brings the right decisions, and those decisions, they will shape everything that comes next in your life. And now we come to the moment you've been waiting for, the truth about what will happen next, because yes, something is going to happen, something is going to shift, something is going to be revealed in a way that cannot be ignored, because the trusted one, they will not remain in this state forever. They will either break under the weight of their own confusion and come back to you seeking truth, seeking clarity, seeking to rebuild what they allowed to be shaken, or they will continue down a path where their pride, their fear, and their dependence on others' opinions keeps them away from you, and whichever path they choose, it will give you your final answer. It will show you everything you need to know without you having to ask, without you having to chase, without you having to guess. And when that moment comes, you must be ready, not emotionally reactive, not desperate, not confused, but grounded, clear, strong, because this is not just about them anymore. This is about you choosing what you allow into your life moving forward, and if they come back with truth, with accountability, with genuine understanding, then you can decide from a place of strength whether to allow them back in or not. But if they come back with excuses, with half-truths, with the same uncertainty that caused this distance in the first place, then you must have the strength to walk away, not because you don't care, but because you care about yourself more, and that is the highest level of growth. Choosing yourself even when your heart still feels connected, choosing your peace even when your emotions want to hold on, choosing your future even when your past feels familiar. And this choice, it will define everything. It will determine whether you repeat the same cycle or step into a completely new chapter of your life, a chapter where you are not questioned, not doubted, not influenced against, but respected, valued, and understood without needing explanation, and that chapter is waiting for you. It is already forming, it is already aligning. But you must be willing to release what is not strong enough to be part of it, and I know. Letting go is not easy, especially when feelings are still there, when memories are still alive, when hope still exists, but sometimes letting go is not about giving up, it is about making space for something better, something stronger, something that does not come with confusion and doubt, and this is where your faith, your strength, your self-worth all come together, because you are being asked to trust not what you see right now, but what is being prepared for you beyond this moment, something that will not require you to question your place, something that will not need validation from others, something that will feel secure, stable, and real in a way you have never experienced before, and that is why this had to happen, not to break you, but to build you into someone who no longer settles for anything less than what they truly deserve, someone who stands in their power without fear, without doubt, without needing anyone else to confirm their worth. And my beloved child, you are already becoming that person, step by step, realization by realization, truth by truth, and once you fully step into that version of yourself, everything that once confused you will make sense, everything that once hurt you will feel like a lesson, and everything that once left you will no longer have the power to shake you again.